All right, folks, we had happen what we needed to have happen big time. The Vols are back in big time. I really needed this to work out for us. I was feeling good about the Indiana game with them getting beat by over 3 touchdowns, but because I don't trust this committee as far as I can throw them, I didn't feel great about it. I thought we might still get creaked, but with Florida beating Ole Miss this morning or this afternoon, feels like morning whenever they have a 12 o'clock game, that gets us in for sure. There's absolutely no way they can't put us in now. I think we should move to 11th. That's assuming no other dominoes fall our way. You know, there's been some talk of, gosh, what if we could get into the top 8? Then we'd have a home game, but we'd have to have a lot of things fall our way. But it's not impossible. We still have to beat Diego Pavia and the Vanderbilt Commodores. They could be problematic. We're playing down there, but we'll have plenty of people in the stands. But we got to stop Diego. He can play keep away from you. But I think we need to thank Billy Napier. First of all, thanks Florida for not firing him because that would have been bad. And now on top of it, he gets the win that we needed. And let me play a little homage to him here.
Billy. Whoa, Billy. This is a biggie. Don't let me down, Billy. $30,000, Billy.
Oh, yeah, let me. And here's how it ended. That's what it felt like when I've never rooted for Florida. I don't know that I've ever rooted for Florida. I'm sure I have because they're an SEC team. But I will tell you, it's typically very difficult. This is one of the reasons why I think this 12-team playoff is so awesome. And I know not everybody thinks that, but look at all the teams that are watching games that they wouldn't have cared. Would you have cared about this game if there was a 4-team playoff? First of all, we'd be out. Ole Miss would have been out. We wouldn't have given a crap if Florida beat Ole Miss. That would have been a meaningless game. But instead, everybody watched the game. The viewership was through the roof, and all of those fan bases care. I mean, the dadgum Ole Miss quarterback was in tears. He was so upset. I mean, that's how important this 12-team playoff is for guys and fan bases. I mean, it's huge. So it's piquing everybody's interest, and it means a more exciting season. I mean, you've got so many teams that are involved, and there's 20 teams that could get in right now, and they're all watching these games breathless. I mean, Army could get in. It's really getting down to the wire. You've got Boise State that can get in. You've got, of course, Notre Dame. I'm surprised they don't just automatically give them a spot because they're Notre Dame. So that should happen. But we are definitely we're back, folks.
People keep asking if I'm back, and I haven't really had an answer. But now, yeah, I'm thinking I'm back.
Definitely thinking I'm back. Let's get into some comments here. Oh, somebody sent me a super chat here. Yeah, we are. Thank you, Brian. Back in. Yeah, we're back in it. We got to beat Vanderbilt, but we are back exactly where we need to be. Definitely. Brittany. Yeah, I'm going to talk about BVD here in a little bit. Some of you may not know that he did pass away. And I've watched actually, I think I saw a Carolina Jackpot did a little thing about him. And his name's Keith Ricker out of Greenville. And I know him. You know, I never met him in person, but I've done like more than a dozen shows with him. I think he and Boogie and myself did a show for about, I don't know, a couple of months. We did Wednesdays at noon. And he has been fighting terrible health problems ever since I've known him, honestly. And he had to have a leg removed. It looked to me like, based on photos he had sent me, that he was going to have to lose the other. I mean, it was bad, honestly. He's been through a very difficult time. So he has passed away, and he was an OG. He was original OG on very first. I think he was the first Tennessee person on YouTube. So he's been 12, 13, 14 years. So unfortunately, he did pass. So I'm sure I'll talk some more about it next week. But anyway, I know a lot of y'all there was rumors out there, but it looks like that he has. So unfortunately, and I hate that for him. I know he would have enjoyed today, but like I said, he's been through man, I'm telling you, he's been in the ICU multiple times. I mean, it's been rough. So unfortunately, you could you knew it was coming at some point. He talked about it a lot. I mean, he talked about it a bunch. Many times before we'd go out on the show, he's like, I'm just hoping I get to the end of the season. So very unfortunate. Mom got family members. He's related to a person that is married to my niece. So a Ricker. So very unfortunate. I was, gosh, if we end up winning a national championship, that'd be sickening that he didn't get the chance to see that, because we have a very legitimate chance of doing that. I'm not kidding when I say that, because we're now in the playoff and we're a dangerous team with our defense, with our ability to score. You saw us score what? I mean, let's pull up our scores today. Let me pull that up. We'll talk about the game a little bit. Let's see. Here we go. Yeah. Let's see, player stats, overview. Here we go. Yeah, Nico, what he throw for 4 touchdowns and threw for 209 yards. They called the dogs off there at the end. He was 17 for 23, which is great. Dylan had a great game. He tied or broke a record for most touchdowns. Brew caught 2 touchdowns. They had Skylar Locklear. He was a little bit like a Diego Pavia. He was causing us some problems, and then he got hurt, and they brought in Pickles, Mr. Pickles. So we didn't have too much trouble there. Let's take a look at our team stats. Yeah, we had a lot of yards, 460 yards. We could have had 600 if we wanted to. Rushed the ball a ton, and I know it's it's not a big time team we were playing. So none of this surprises me. The first quarter kind of stunk up the joint. It looked like Nico was out of sorts, but then once he got rolling, he looked great. So hopefully that won't happen next week. We don't need to have a slow start. Let me remove that. But let's take a look at some of the college football scores, and we'll talk about our position in the playoff, because we're in pretty good shape right now. Let's see. Stop that. Present. Let's go in here and take a look at these college football scores and talk about that for a minute. Let's see. Penn State, Minnesota, that could definitely have an impact on us because they're ranked well ahead of us. If they get a second loss, they'll be behind us. Let's see. BYU, they're on the outside looking in. Kansas is trying to have another upset. Clemson's playing the Citadel. Who is the Citadel? Okay, that's some little team. South Carolina's whooping up on Wofford. That doesn't surprise me. Missouri's playing Mississippi State. Here's the Army-Notre Dame game. And that's interesting because Army is sitting at 9-0, so they could knock Notre Dame out and put themselves in and be one of the group of fives. And then Boise State's in a similar situation. And then here's a very important game right here. This is, Alabama, Oklahoma, because they're ranked ahead of us. That would actually, if they got beat by Oklahoma, which is, it's not impossible. It's there. It's on the road. That would knock Alabama out. Texas A&M's got a chance to get in now. They got to beat Auburn, though, and I think that's at Auburn. I could be wrong. No, I think that's at Auburn. Let's see. And then Indiana got whooped there. They should be out. They should be out, but I don't know. There's a lot of Big Ten folks in there. So in that committee that are very partial to the Big Ten, including Ward Manuel, who is the chairman. So he might put them at 12 because they've only got one loss, but they've not beat a top 25 team, and they finally played a good team, and they got beat by 3 scores and 2 points, 23-point loss. So here's Miami whooping up on Wake Forest. That's the huge game right there, Florida against Ole Miss. That was monstrous. Georgia's having a tough time with Massachusetts, I'm sure. Yeah, looks like it. There we are. We had a tough time with UTEP. SMU's whooping it for Virginia, man. It's not a very good team. all the way down. Let's see. And so there's a lot going on that could impact us. And then, of course, next week, there's a bunch of big games too, obviously. So there's going to be – this 12-team playoff has created mayhem, and there'll be even more next week, which is great for the game. It's parity. I'm telling you, people love parity. That's why the NFL does so well, I believe, or a big part of it. Just weren't Utep. Yeah, the Joseph. We just need to beat Vandy. We just need to take care of business. And I know it's away, but it's not away. It's almost a home game for us. And Vandy's playing LSU later today. I would not be a bit surprised. Thank you for the super chat. I would not be a bit surprised if Vandy beat LSU. LSU's not looking very good. They're, 6-4 right now. They've lost their last 3 games, I think. And they've also lost the number 1 quarterback for 2025 to Michigan, of all things. Michigan's going to pay that guy $11.5 million. And he was going to get 6 at LSU, but LSU's lost all these games in a row. And I think that, plus getting your money doubled, had a lot to do with it. Look, what would you do, folks, if you were going to get $6 million at one spot and you're going to get double that to go to Michigan? What would you do? I'm not going to turn down almost $6 million. I'm just not going to do it. Let's see. Buckeye Ranger says, go Army. Let's see who was first in here. Slim. I can always count on Slim. How you doing, buddy? And Kason was in here. Yeah, we'll definitely – we're at number 11 now, but for sure, instead of 13. As far as the college football playoff, we'll probably be like 9th in the rankings because, remember, you get creaked by a conference champion, you get creaked by a group of 5, all that kind of crap. So the odds of us getting to 8, that would be perfect. If we beat Vanderbilt, take care of business first, and then get to number 8, then we could have a home game at Neyland, which would be awesome. God, that would be awesome. That would be so exciting. Get down here and make sure I hadn't missed any super chats and stuff. Woo, man. That's a relief. I'm telling you, had it been up to politics, we would have gotten creaked bad. They were gonna screw us over. I'll just go ahead and tell you that for sure. They definitely were. So I had little to no doubt of that. But now that won't happen. Now
Roadhouse.
Oh man. I know Ole Miss has got to be sick right now. I tell you, that was the game that I thought had the highest probability of going a certain way because number one, Florida with the DJ is tough. And he's not even, he's one-legged right now. And they looked good last week. And then you're playing at the Swamp. And everybody's talking about how Tennessee's no good on the road. Who is good on the road in the SEC? Georgia's got 2 losses on the road. Alabama's got 2 losses on the road. I don't get it. We've got 2 losses on the road, one of which was at Georgia. So that just is what it is, man. It's very difficult to win on the road in the SEC. It's not impossible. It's just very difficult. Even if you're going up against a lower tier SEC school. And plus, the other thing is the crowd shows up. I've never seen that Georgia crowd as hyped as they were last week. I mean, that's as brutal as I've seen the Bulldog crowd. And, of course, it was 7 o'clock at night, and everybody was heavily fortified, if you know what I mean. Yep. Let's see and put that in there. Yeah, we're in a great shape now. As far as getting in, now we need to beat Vanderbilt and have a few things go our way. And then, like I said, maybe we're at home. That'd be nice. Yep. Yeah, you're right about that. I still think we should be ranked ahead of Indiana. We should. I don't know that it'll happen, but that's what I think should happen. Get in here. Let's see. I shall throw y'all something else in here. Let's see. Yeah, you can't. I'm telling you, you cannot trust that committee. They were
You'll never find a more wretched hive of scum and villainy.
We must be cautious.
That's how I feel about him. I don't trust him as far as I can throw him. Not at all. Especially not having the Michigan athletic director in charge. I mean, I just can't understand. How is that even possible? How can you be the athletic director right in the middle of the biggest scandal in the history of college football in the last 30 years, and you get the chairmanship? He's qualified, but I mean, shouldn't you be eliminated based on that? I mean, you were in the middle of the biggest scandal in the world and you become chairman? Good Lord. I just don't get that. And he was trying to extend Jim Harbaugh's contract and give him a raise through all that. And he was getting ready to get like a 2-year show cause plus a 1-year suspension, probably. Crazy. But yeah, Jimbo, he took off. He was out of here, Milo. He didn't want any part of what they were getting ready to do to him. Let's see. Let me give y'all something else here. Yeah, next week, it's this.
Win.
What are we waiting for? Take this!
Such a great moment in that movie. Got to win. Just wins. It's all in our hands now. We don't have to have anything else happen. Win next week and we're in. So it can definitely happen. I never thought I'd do that damn gator chomp. No kidding. Me too. And I didn't do the gator chomp. I probably should have, but I was rooting hard for them. I can tell you that right now. And they scored that touchdown, and I knew, God, I said, do not get the ball back to that guy after he threw the interception. And the second interception, I knew hit the ground. But then he threw a third. He was just, something wasn't right with him today. I think the crowd got to him and he started losing his confidence or something. So anyway, Auburn. Oh. Auburn could do some damage. They got talent. They just don't have a really good quarterback. They find ways to lose too. I've never seen a team come up with more ways of losing. I've told you they're jinxed. They're completely jinxed. Let me find y'all something else in here. I've done enough of these that are, let's see. Oh, yeah, this is always a good one.
Well, you just never know when another beast might come down out of the forest. You understand, don't you, Thumbaloo? This is what we call the deadly game. I'm in it for keeps.
All right. Folks, I appreciate you coming in for the live show. I think I've done about 20 minutes. That's probably enough. Y'all don't hear me keep talking, but got a few more games that could maybe push us into number 8. Again, we just got to win. We got to win Saturday. We got to beat Diego Pavia. And don't be shocked if they beat LSU. And the Florida game, beating Ole Miss actually bumps us up in our as far as our wins, because that's good. Florida's not bad, man. I'm telling you, they gave us a ton of grief up here. We were fortunate to win that ball game. So anyway, we'll see you next time on Sports Talk Jay, and thanks for showing up. We're back in there, baby. We're back. Wait a minute. Let me finish the. Here we go.
People keep asking if I'm back, and I haven't really had an answer. But now, yeah, I'm thinking I'm back.
We'll see you next time on Sports Talk Jay.